So, I'm coming to you live. Me and Nizzy. Me and Lily. Sarah? Sarah? Coming to you live from my sister's bedroom. I was gonna wait to do this in the morning, but I guess I'm gonna do it now because my emotions and my feelings are very raw right now. So I guess I want to talk about being plus size and why I don't like to go to the doctors. So I had an IUD for 10 years. I did it in my early 20s. I had it for 5 years and then I took it out, put a new one back in, and this July was my 5th year. So I went to the gynecologist and she was like, oh, well, what brings you in today? And I'm like, oh, it's been 5 years, like, I want to remove my IUD. And she says, well, what new birth control do you want to put in? And I'm like, I don't want to put any birth control. I'm like, I just want to take it out, and that's that. So she then proceeds to ask me why I've gained 20 pounds since the last time I saw her. So 20 pounds since in 5 years, basically. And I know a lot of you probably don't know me. She weighed me today. I'm 331. I went on a weight loss goal in 2018. I guess it's not a weight loss goal. It's like a weight loss. I don't know, girl. I just started trying to lose weight. So I went down to 260 and I didn't notice a difference. Like, I would see the numbers go down and I would see that my clothes fit better and I was able to fit into smaller clothes, but in my mind I still saw the 300 pound girl. And as much as the people around me congratulated me and said how good I looked, I was still fat. I still felt huge, you know. So it was 2019. My boyfriend and I went to Puerto Rico for vacation, like we always do. We try to go once a year. And I went out there and I ate all of the amazing Puerto Rican food. And then when I came back, I just couldn't get back into the swing of things, right? So that happened, and I just lost motivation. I guess we both kind of lost motivation, but I definitely lost motivation. He's like, we'll get back into it, but you can't force yourself. And I'm always I'm ready to start it now, but then I just don't. So anyways, I went up to 350, I think was my highest weight. So now I'm at 330. I haven't really been eating differently. This isn't even what this vlog was about, but whatever. I'm gonna give you some of my backstory. I haven't really been eating anything differently. I have noticed that I just don't eat as much. Also, I was working from home since February, so I was home, everybody was home, eating whatever, but I was home. I wouldn't leave my house. I would go grocery shopping once a week, once every 2 weeks. I wouldn't leave my house. So it wasn't until July I went back to work, and we've been doing kits I work at a university, so we've been doing kits, and My coworker's been saying that I've been like losing weight, but I'm just like, I don't really see it. Like, I just know that I've been moving a lot more, but like I still been eating shitty. So I was like, I don't see it. Whatever. So I guess I went from 350 down to 330, which I'm cool with. But she was just so mean about it. Like, she literally was like, okay, so I haven't been to a doctor in years. Like, when I tell you I cannot remember the last time I went to a doctor, I cannot remember the last time I went to a doctor. I used to go to my OBGYN a lot. Shout out to Dr. Waters in Brockton. She was amazing. She was so nice. She actually found a cyst that I had that was taking over my ovary, and I had an operation on that. And then she's always booked because she's such an amazing OBGYN. So when I had my surgery, she put in my first IUD. Now, when it was time to replace it, I had to find a new doctor because she was booked, right? And I found this doctor, which is the same one I went to go see today, and I was a lot smaller then. Not a lot smaller, but I was like maybe like 290, 300, right? So she was like still mean, but she wasn't as mean as she was today. Like, today really, and it wasn't just the fact that she was saying like that she was being mean. It was the fact that she just kept insisting that she was right, you know? And it's just like, I held my composure while I was in there. I'll get to like everything that happened at the appointment, but I just left there feeling really, really bad. And it's not often that I feel bad about my weight, because I've been big my whole life, you know? And yeah, but she really like, it was to the point where I left. Like, I got a little teary-eyed while I was in there, but she just kind of like ignored it. And then we were leaving and my boyfriend was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I just want to get in the car." And we get outside and he was like, "What's wrong? Like, did everything go okay?" And I'm just like, "I just want to get in the car." Like, I was trying to just still be like, "I just want to get in the car." And he's like, "Just talk to me." Like, as we're walking to the car, and I was like, "I just want to get in the car." And he went to hug me, and I just felt so stiff. Like, I was like, "I just want to get in the car." He's like, "Okay." So we got to the car, and as soon as I sat down and closed the door, I just started bawling. And he was just like, "What is wrong? Like, are you okay?" And I'm like, she was just so mean. She was just so mean. And I'm really trying to get my story across without crying. Like, this is not the point of this video. And like, maybe I should have waited to film it, but I just feel like nobody really talks about this. And the first thing I said was, my eyes itchy now. The first thing I said when I finally like calmed down, I'm like, this is the reason why I haven't been to doctors in so long. This is the reason why. Because I understand that I'm overweight. I understand that. I know that. I've been overweight my whole life. That's not the problem. The problem is doctors that want to blame every single thing on that. Every single thing on that. So I get in there and she's like, well, what do you mean you don't want to be on birth control anymore? And I'm like, I'm 32 years old. Like, if I'm not scared of getting pregnant anymore, you know, like I was on birth control because I was petrified of getting pregnant. And I was like, I'm just not scared of it anymore. I just don't want to be on it. I've been on birth control since I was like 15. Like, I just want to give my body a rest, you know? I just want to give my body a break so that when I do want to start having kids, not that it won't be hard, because I know it will be hard, but at least like my body will be like back to normal. She was like, well, she's like, why would you want to get pregnant? Like, you're fat. Like, why would you want to like put yourself through that? And I'm just like, I never said that I was like planning on getting pregnant. I'm just trying to give my body a break. And she's trying to convince me to get on birth control. And then she was like, she started talking to me about ovarian cancer and how I should get the shots or whatever for it. And I was like, I feel like I've had the shots before, but like I said, I haven't been to the doctors in probably like 15 years. I haven't been to the doctors probably since I was like 19, and I was like making my own doctor's appointments. I refuse to go to the doctors because every little thing. How is it that if you're overweight or if you're skinny, right? Like, we can go through the same things, but if you're overweight, it solely gets based on your weight. Like, it only happened because of your weight. So if I get cancer and she gets cancer and she's skinny, then what was the reason for her getting cancer? Oh, it was just given to her? Like, that's what I don't understand. Like, why is everything, I understand my weight affects some things, but why is it that is the end all be all for everything? Like, oh, I get a lot of headaches. Oh, it's because you're overweight. Like, that to me doesn't make any sense. So she was explaining that, and she's like, I'd love to give you the shot and blah blah blah, like, make sure your insurance covers it and I'll give it to you. I'm like, okay. I was like, I feel like I've already had it. She's like, it's fine, you can have it again. I'm like, okay. So then she's like, well, yeah, so she was basically like, oh, like, are you sure you want to take it out? Like, do you want to get pregnant? Like, why would you get pregnant when you're this size? And like all this stuff. And I'm just like, I never said I wanted to get pregnant right now. I just said that if in the future I get pregnant, I'm not gonna be mad about it. Like, it's fine. I'm in a stable relationship. I'm in a better place in my life. Like, it's fine. If I get pregnant, I get pregnant. It's fine. But like, I want to give my body a rest. And oh, then she was like, oh, well, the Marina's like, I know it was only good for 5 years, but now it's good for 6 years. So like, you can just come back and take it on next year. And I'm like, that's not what I want. Like, you're trying to make me change my mind on what I want. Excuse me. I was like, I want to take it out. I want to take it out today. This is why I made the appointment. This is the only reason I came to see you, because I honestly didn't really like her, but I don't have a primary doctor and I don't have like a stable OBGYN, which is what I need to have. So, but like, I decided I was going to start taking care of my body and I was going to start taking care of my health. So I wanted to start, seeing doctors. So she was like, oh, well, it's good for 6 years. Like, why would you take it out now? And I'm just like, I just want to take it out. So reluctantly, she was like, okay. But she was like, I hope you don't get pregnant until you lose the weight. And I'm just like, who are you? Like, who are you to tell me when and when I cannot get pregnant? Like, I was just so confused. So she's like, okay, well, we're gonna do like a pap smear, whatever, because I haven't been to the doctor in a long time, like I said. So she starts checking my breasts. She was like, okay. She's like, they look kind of normal. And then she's like, you've gone like 10 years without getting a period. So like, hasn't that been wonderful? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, it's been good. She's like, well, why would you want to like go back to that? And she was like, and you have so much fat on your body, like that's gonna make you bleed so much. And I'm just like, at this point, I was over it. I was just wanting her to do what she had to do so I could leave and never see her again, literally. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine, I still want to do it. And she's like, okay. So she's like checking she was doing the pap smear or whatever, and she was like, oh, everything looks great. I'm like, okay. She takes out my IUD, and then she's like feeling my like whatever. She was just like touching whatever, doing everything that they do at the gynecologist. And then she said, for someone your size, like, you're really healthy. And I'm like, yeah, because weight doesn't equal health. Like, you're a doctor, you should know that. And she's like, yeah. She's like, you don't take medication for anything. Like, your blood pressure is normal. Your body, like, your everything seems fine. Like, she's like, I'm really like surprised. And I'm just like at this point, I'm just so over it. I'm just so over it. I just want to leave. And my boyfriend's like waiting for me in the waiting room, and I'm just like, I just want to see him. Like, I just want to leave. And she's like, do you have a PCP? And I'm like, no. She's like, well, I can recommend you some people. And I'm like, sure. But like, knowing damn well I'm not gonna see anybody she recommends, because it would still be in her office. And I'm just ready to go. So she was like, well, it was great seeing you. She's like, you look great. And I'm just like, okay. And as she's getting ready to walk out the door, she was like, come see me when you get pregnant. And then she leaves. And I'm like, so I start getting dressed. And I'm just like, I never want to see you again. Never want to see you again. And like I said in the beginning, I understand that weight equals a lot of health problems. It can equal health problems. But it's not the end all be all of every single thing that happens to you. So I just needed to share that. I'm not sure if I'm even gonna upload this. I just had to let it out. I might re-record it in the morning. I might just upload it like this. I don't care. I don't really know. But I'm just, it's like as soon as I try to get my health back in check, this happens, and it just makes me never want to go to the doctors again. Oh, and then she was also like, well, what is it that like you're doing that is making you gain all this weight? Because like, and then I said something like, I don't really eat a lot. I eat like once or twice a day, and I just don't eat the right things, which is the truth. Like, I went to see her at 3:30. I hadn't eaten anything yet. All this week I've been eating at like 4 o'clock. I only have one meal. Like, I'll eat at 4 o'clock and then I won't eat anything else. But it's always like fast food, and I know this, like, I know what I'm doing wrong, but it's just like, I'm just so tired. I've been dieting since I was like 8 years old. I'm just so tired of dieting, and I just want to just live my life for a second until I just get the motivation, because I've realized that if I do it for other people, I'm not going to do it. I need to want to do it for myself. So she was like, well, she's like, you have to eat 5 meals a day, like 5 small meals. And I'm just like, I can't even fathom eating 5 meals. I barely eat once or twice, and it's sometimes I just eat because I know I have to eat. And when I say that, I'm just like, damn, like, you sound like someone that's like depressed, which I don't really consider myself depressed. I do go through my things, you know, like, right now in my life, like, a lot is going on. Like, my family's dealing with a lot. Why do I keep crying? My family's dealing with a lot, you know, and I've been really sad lately. But I don't consider myself being like depressed. Like, I have a pretty happy life, you know. But I'm just like, this week has just been really hard. And she's like, well, obviously it's something that you're doing, because like I don't gain weight like that. And I'm just like, wow. I was just like, yeah, okay, like, I get it. I didn't know I didn't know I was here for weight loss. Like, I thought I was just here to take care of my freaking vagina. Like, Jesus Christ. I am in the search for a new doctor, one that hopefully won't blame everything on my weight. And it's like, I like want to lose weight, I do, but like, I'm just not, my head's just not in it right now, and I'm not gonna start it just because everybody else wants me to. So that's that. I just had to release that and just let people know that, like, this is why plus size people don't go to the doctors, because we're so tired of people only blaming our weight for everything that happens to us. Like, if a skinny person has a heart attack, what are you gonna blame it on? You can't blame it that they're fat. But if a fat person has a heart attack, then it's, oh, like, they're fat, you know? And it's just, but yeah. Ready for bed, Lils? On that note, we're going to bed. Thank you for listening. Just tomorrow's a better day. Hopefully tomorrow will be a better day. And yeah. I don't know what my channel is gonna be. It's just been a bunch of random stuff. I have a video coming up with my boyfriend. We're doing a we're trying out new bags of chips. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to vlog more. But my life is just so boring that I don't have anything to vlog. I feel it's just like when things happen, then I have stuff to talk about, but most of the time I'm just at work or at home, so I don't really have much to say. But if you just happen to run across this video, thanks for watching. I'm sorry that I cried. I'm a very emotional person. But that's not a bad thing. So I like to share that part of me too. We can't always be happy. It's not always going to be rainbows and butterflies, you know. We're all going to have our struggles, but at the end of the day, you just have to do what makes you happy. So if you run across this video and you've had similar experiences, please comment them down. Let me know about your experience. Ask any questions. Let me know if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions. I don't know. But my little Lils and I are going to sleep. You going to sleep? You going to sleep, mamas? You going to sleep? Yeah. Yeah. Peace out.